commentaries disclaimer. All right, let's just give this a few seconds on screen. Okay, and here's our market commentaries disclaimer. If you can have a read through that as well, be much appreciated. Okay, good. All right, what we'll do, we'll just take a look at Microsoft and Alphabet to start, and then we'll take a look at the real rate, and we shall go into our morning analysis. Let's just take a look at Microsoft. Hey Raj, good morning. Hello Anna, pleasure to have you on the live stream. All right, this is Microsoft, and you can see that it is on a weekly basis moving up, right? I mean, it's moving from the bottom left to the top right, so there's an uptrend here. You can see that the 5-week exponential moving is above the orange 10-week exponential moving average, and of course the RSI is above 50. So by and large there is positivity, but there are signs of potential pullback. Now this is just an extension of yesterday's question, and actually asked, now how much longer can this go on for? I think we're in uptrend. I think that we're in a bull market, right? Microsoft's earnings yesterday were good, but there's kind of been a sell the fact type of response to that, and the markets perhaps found one or two things that they perhaps don't like. The idea here is any sort of profit taking here, I think would be completely healthy, completely normal. So you can see on the weekly there is an overbought condition. And if we go through to the Microsoft daily chart, let's just share up that tab. You can see how it's in zone 1. That's between the upper blue, the upper red. That, of course, is our bullish area. It's moving up nicely. Importantly, the Bollinger's are expanding. So the fact that we have these expanding Bollinger's are telling you that the volatility is increasing with the movement upwards. But of course, yeah, we've just got this overbought RSI. So the risk is that there is going to be a pullback. But I think that given the earnings, given where we are in terms of the economic cycle, what's the economic cycle? 3.3% quarterly advanced GDP and PC coming down, with the likelihood that rates decline, with good earnings. So the idea here is, I think that there may be some banking, there's some sort of pull down like that. I'd be very interested to monitor the support areas and just see if we get some sort of dip in the uptrend. So the idea here is, of course, yes, there are risks to the Microsoft, but not trend, in my opinion, not trend change. A trend change risk is just a risk of banking some profit taking, prices normalizing so that the oscillators, prices pulling back so that the oscillators normalize. I think that would be something that we could expect, and if there are any sort of pullbacks, because we can also just start moving sideways. If we start moving sideways, that will normalize the oscillators as well. But the idea here is some sort of pullback would, in my opinion, be an opportunity, a potential opportunity, subject to correction, right? It's just that we seem to be right in a sweet spot at the moment. Let's just take a look at Google. Hey, Kim, good morning to you. Welcome. Nice to have you on the live stream. Let's just go through to Alphabet. And I think that, again, the results were good. There may be one or two things that the market is suggesting is, well, this could have been better. But the truth is, results were fairly robust. And if we just take a look at Google in terms of the weekly chart, so let's just share that screen. It's in an uptrend. It's moving from the lower left to the upper right. It's in an uptrend. You can see that the green 5-week exponential moving average is above that orange 10-week exponential moving average. You can see that the RSI here is above 50. Okay, so, and it's not overbought. This one's not overbought. So Microsoft showing signs of froth on the weekly, not really Alphabet, right? So, but it's above 50. So there's some nice kind of momentum signals in terms of this particular ticker, right? Let's take a look at Alphabet, and we'll take a look at the daily now and see what kind of signals we can glean off of that. All right, so let's just share that tab. Okay, so I really like this chart. I like it a lot. We've got this expansion in the Bollinger Bands. It's in zone 3. That's between the upper blue, the upper red. That's our bullish area. As long as we stay in the bullish area and there's that expansion of volatility, that's regarded as bullish. The RSI, again, not overbought, tending towards overbought. The pullback here normalizing the RSI. So again, any sort of pullbacks here in this ticker, I think provides some sort of opportunity. I'd be looking at the support areas to see if the support areas bring in any buying activity. So something kind of like this. If we get the pullback here, it's not quite as frothy as Microsoft. Not quite. We've got to give weight. I'm in zone 1. What did I say, Kim? We're in zone 1. Okay, zone 1. Upper red, upper blue. Did I say zone 3? I mean zone 1. Upper red, upper blue. Thanks for that. But we have to give weight to the fact that Microsoft is frothy. I'll tell you why we have to give weight to it. In terms of market capitalization, it's the biggest company in the world, right? At the moment, there's this kind of tug of war between Apple and Microsoft. I'm not sure who's ahead at the moment, but I think Microsoft is slightly ahead in terms of market capitalization. But because it's got such a heavy weighting in the index, it can potentially pull index down with it. Fine, be that as it may, we're still in a strong uptrend here. Economic-wise, macroeconomic-wise, I don't see the hard landing scenario manifesting. The leading indicators, which perhaps we'll look at tomorrow, so some leading indicators we'll perhaps look at tomorrow, not that not that bad, right? They're not that bad. So no indications in terms of the leading indicator that we're heading into some sort of hard landing. Any sort of pullback here, I think, would be certainly something for us to keep an eye on. Throw that on the watch list. If there's any questions there, please go ahead and type those in. Any questions, please go ahead and type those in. What we can do now is we can go back to the regular analysis. Let's just take a look at the real rate. I just wanted to go through Microsoft and Alphabet very quickly just to say, look, these things are looking healthy. Okay, a little bit of profit taking, that's healthy. Okay, and I'm just asking if we can take a look at NVIDIA. Yeah, let me bring NVIDIA up. And again, we'll do it from the top down. So we'll look at the weekly first. Okay, this is NVIDIA. This is NVIDIA. Okay, what kind of a trend is this? Well, is it moving from the lower left to the upper right? An uptrend. It's an uptrend. Okay, and the weekly green 5-week exponential moving average above that orange 10-week exponential moving average, a little bit of froth manifesting here. So perhaps a price cap in the sort of near term, just as the oscillator um, normalizes. But again, earlier in the week, well, it could have been last week in Taiwan, to journalists, the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, really said that NVIDIA's 2024 is going to be a really good year. The only issue that NVIDIA has is keeping up with demand. The demand's there, right? Let's go through to the daily chart. Let's take a look at the NVIDIA daily chart. Okay. Again, really good looking Bollinger Bands expansion, moving into moving upwards. Let me just try that again. Moving upwards. We're in zone 1 between the upper blue, upper red. And in fact, what you can see here is that the Bollinger Bands have now started both moving in an upwards direction. So there's been that expansion, and then the bottom Bollinger Band is starting to hook and move upwards. Okay, as bullish. What's the issue here? We've got this overbought condition. So we've got to be very careful with these overbought conditions, because the RSI typically moves according to the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle. 80% of the time it's in normal areas. What are normal areas? Between 20 and 80. 20% of the time they're in the extremities, right? So the fact that we're in an extremity now means, well, we're only going to spend a short amount of time here. The longer that we stay above here, the worse the pullback's going to be. But we need to be mindful that the RSI here is overbought, and you've got to respect these overbought conditions. I don't know when there is going to be a retracement, but there will be a retracement. One of the best examples for that is actually, we're not really going to do the chart here, but Bitcoin, just before the ETF news, there was a ton of buying into Bitcoin, and then the ETF was announced, and it pulled down, and that was just pure buy the rumor, sell the fact, and that's potentially what can happen. When NVIDIA releases, we just get a whole lot of market participants banking that their profit. But if you get the dip there, the trends are so strong at the moment that you would want to keep an eye on the support levels to see if it brings in buyers, and the dips in the uptrend potentially exploitable here. Okay, so that's NVIDIA. And Raj just saying retracements to support. Yeah, exactly. I would keep an eye on that. The fact of the matter is, there is a bit of froth that's starting to appear. Can't ignore that. At some stage, that froth is going to have to dissipate. When it dissipates, there's going to be profit taking. It's going to be because of profit taking. And then we're going to have to see if the support levels hold, which, in my opinion, subject to correction, will be a good place to see if there's going to be a dip in the uptrend. All right, let's just take a look at the real rate. If there's any other questions, just type those in. Anna's just saying she thinks that NVIDIA is the frothiest of the magnificence. I think what it comes down to, Anna, can we buy into this AI story, or is it a bubble? I don't believe it's a bubble. I think that this is a genuine advancement, and I do believe that the demand for the NVIDIA chip is there. So I think the fundamentals are there. I think that the income statement, top line, is going to benefit. I think that flows through to bottom line. I think that the share price should be rewarded, but at the moment it is looking frothy. I agree. At the moment it's looking very frothy, and again I have to tag on subject to correction. Have to tag it on subject to correction, right? But what we do, okay, let's just take a look at NASDAQ. Let's just take a look at NASDAQ for a moment. Okay, we'll stay on the zones. Okay, let's just go through NAS 100. Okay. All right, and let's just go into the monthly time frame here. Just bear with me. Okay, just bear with me. And let's go into 2022. Okay, so there's a bear market in 2022. There's a bear market. Okay, 2023 was a good year. Okay. There is an evolution to a bear market on phase on zone analysis, and the basically what I want you to do is really pay more attention to the Bollingers than to the RSI here. Okay, just look at the evolution here. It moves from zone 1, and this is zone 2. That's a big warning. That's your first warning there. Okay, in that you're going to have a movement down. Okay, so that's moving from the primary trend zone 1 into the primary trend zone 2 neutral. And then what's happened is you've got the next movement, and this is kind of devastating, is when you move from zone 2 to zone 3. That's devastating. So when you cross from between the two blues into the lower blue, lower red. And then even here, what happened was there was a slight expansion in the Bollingers. So you had the Bollinger pushing up there, and you had the Bollinger so the volatility was to the downside. So we don't have that. We don't have any of that on the NASDAQ at the moment. We've got expansion in the Bollingers. Just trying to get an arrow here. We're getting an expansion in the Bollingers to the upside. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And it looks pretty early. And if we had to put in peak and trough analysis here, we can put in, let's put in a trough over there. We can put in the peak over here. Okay. So once you've got your reference P and T in, you can see here's a higher trough. Here's the higher. I'm going to try that again. Yeah, here's the higher trough. And here's the higher peak. So you can see there's a primary uptrend according to peak and trough analysis on NASDAQ. So yeah, we might get shorter term froth. Well, that's needed to get the next higher trough. Okay, that's the progress. Remember, there's, according to Dow theory, 3 stages to a bull market. You've got renewed confidence, you've got improved earnings, and then you've got rampant speculation. I don't see the elements of that rampant speculation just yet. I don't see it. So I think we're in the second stage. Okay, Raj, catch up with you tomorrow. Have a great day. All right, I think it's top of the hour. We can actually conclude at this point. We didn't really get to the real rate today. We'll get to that tomorrow. Are there any other questions? What I'll just request again, if you found this live stream useful, just go ahead and click on that boost button. It just helps with the dissemination the live stream. So, but only do it if you found it useful, right? And we shall catch up tomorrow. Yeah, I think what we'll do, Kim, we'll do the real rate tomorrow. Okay, we'll have a quick look at it. Let's have a quick look at it. Okay, so just looking at the real rate, it's probably worth looking at it because we've got the FOMC tonight, right? If we're getting that reference candle reversal here, right? What's the reference candle reversal? It's got three conditions. We've got the highest high in at least 3 candles. This is a weekly chart. Condition 2, price has taken out the reference candle's low, right? And then it's got to close below the reference candle's low. We'll only know that at the end of the week. We'll only know that. But it's going to be heavily influenced by the FOMC tonight. Be heavily influenced by the FOMC tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that. What we said yesterday is we also want to see if the RSI breaks below 1. If it breaks below 1, that's not a primary signal, it's a secondary signal, but it is a suggestion. It is a suggestion that the momentum would be pushing downwards. Okay. The Bollinger is expanding early. When was it? When did I say that? Was that with the Nasdaq on the monthly? Was that Kim? So I just there's 2 questions here. I just want to make sure that I'm just going through them in an orderly fashion. So Kim, what we'll do is we'll just see how the FOMC comes out tonight. I think they're going to go dovish. I mean, the inflation rate's coming down. We're going to hit that 2%. Okay, so we want to just see what happens tonight. But it does look like we're getting a push down, and you can see if we go to the weekly chart that the RSI needs to push through the this upward sloping green line. So that's the first part. Kim, I hope that I addressed that. I'm just laughing at what you've written here, Anna. You just asked about the Bollingers expanding earlier. I'm not saying they expand after 0.2. So what I'm saying is there's this evolution. As of the bear market, as we hit the 0.2, which is the movement of Nasdaq from zone 2 into zone 3, the Bollingers expand. What I'm saying is that we don't have that now. We've got the Bollingers expanding to the upside as we have this higher trough, higher peak. So we've got this higher trough, higher peak. The higher trough, higher peak is peak and trough analysis uptrend. Peak and trough analysis uptrend. So Nasdaq is looking really strong on a primary trend basis. If we get daily pullbacks, those are dips in the uptrend. They dips in the uptrend. Why the uptrend? Because the primary trend is up. Okay. Does that answer your question, Anna? Just let me know. All right. Any other questions? Just go ahead and type those in. The boost button's that little rocket ship. If you can see a little rocket ship. If you found this useful, just go ahead and click that little rocket ship. Alrighty. Let's wrap up here, guys. I want to wish everyone a good day ahead and a good evening, and we shall chat tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic one. Bye now.